Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome to today's reading. We are going to jump right in. I do want to say, please be sure to use your discernment. Hopefully, you're using your discernment in every reading. But with this one, I am going to be going back and forth between two energies in relation to one another. So, again, just make sure that you are clear on which energy is yours and which is this other person. All right. In this relationship, I'm seeing two people who are currently in separation. Or if you are together, it's like there is a lot of turbulence currently in the connection, and communication is seeming to get more and more, um, I would say, hurtful. This is about using kind of logic over emotion. There's a lot of kind of mental games in a way. This is like communication when it's direct is more like taking jabs at one another, or just not being direct, even though again, there's just a lot of mental energy that's going on here, not so much actually happening in the physical. um, the way that person A expresses love for this other person is this is someone who probably would say one of their love languages is acts of service. This is someone who would love someone through thick and thin. But the caution, if you are this energy, is that this is an idealized kind of way of looking at a person, where it does make it very difficult for this other person to kind of measure up, to be completely honest, to one's expectations. And I'm hearing someone already be like, I'm just asking for the bare minimum. Are you? Are you honestly? If you were to receive, firstly, you should not position yourself somewhere where you have to ask someone for the bare minimum. One, two, be honest with yourself that if you were provided with the bare minimum, would that satisfy you? Because you deserve much more than the bare minimum is what this is getting at. But this is saying this is and maybe you guys have experienced, right, like different periods of the relationship where things were a lot more tumultuous and you really stuck by their side or remained loyal or something in that way. This energy is someone who really says that they want to take action to kind of heal things and make things better. This is someone that is willing to see beyond whatever issues are present, not just in a relationship, but I'm seeing like in a person, whatever things are kind of um, getting in the way of like true connection. This is someone that is willing to do the work to overcome those things. How this person hurts uh how person A hurts person B is that this is someone who, it seems like, uses like endings as a kind of weapon. This is someone that will walk away when conversations get difficult, or someone this could also be someone that uses like ghosting, silent treatment kind of things. Hopefully you can't hear this sound that's happening in the background. I'm really sorry. My neighbor is doing, I don't know if they're power washing their house or something they just started doing, I don't know. um but this is someone who will walk away, you know what I mean? This is someone who and maybe this is like breaking up, like truly just kind of ending the relationship, but this is someone who uses distance to hurt this other person. And mostly what I'm getting is like silent treatment kind of distance, but again, I'm seeing walking out of like a room when an argument is happening, not responding, um that kind of thing, not wanting to be around this other person. um this could also be on a less extreme. This is like, if this is a long distance relationship, this is someone who is unwilling to kind of bridge that geographic gap. This is someone who wants to maintain some degree of distance, however it applies, you know what I mean? How this person goes about defending themselves when they do hurt their partner is very, I'm getting this as someone that like always has justifications. This is someone who their viewpoint, you can't really tell them that they're wrong. You can't really convince them because they are so self-assured, so blunt, so I mean, there's an impatience here. And this is someone who is like very intellectual. This is someone who like it's not that this is someone that is just pretending, but it's like this is someone who uses their intellect to kind of overpower another person. This is someone who kind of uses their like approval and judgments, and someone who can explain why they're right, almost like someone who's very convincing. um that kind of thing. This is also, and this is present, this kind of energy is present in both people. I will just say, if you were finding yourself identifying more with this person, I don't want any of this to be like a judgmental kind of shameful reading. This is not about that. This is understanding how, you know, both of you are mirroring one another. Almost the way that this spread is laid out is meant to be a mirroring, reflective, you know, kind of spread. But this is like both of you tend to lean into the logic side instead of the feeling. This is over analyzing. This is, you know, just looking at the relationship from a more intellectual, analytical lens, through that kind of lens, more than allowing emotion and vulnerability and feeling to step in. And the places where like I would say like the star is a very water energy type of sign. It's more of the illusions it's talking about, you know, things that we are kind of being convinced by. But this is that kind of energy. This Knight of Swords energy is like someone that thinks that they can kind of convince someone. You know what I mean? This is someone that will, even if someone is just expressing that they were hurt, like their feelings were hurt by something that they did, this is someone that will defend that. And instead of just apologizing and taking accountability for the way that they harmed this other person, they have to be like, well, I did that because X, Y, and Z, or you shouldn't be hurt by that because X, Y, and Z. It's that kind of energy that makes it very difficult for someone to kind of overcome hurt feelings and to move on, because there's a lack of accountability there, if that makes sense. Um, this other person, person B, we will take a look at them for a second. How they love person A. This is again a very logical way of experiencing love. It's very it's like it's based on truth, but like their version of truth is kind of um I am hearing someone, and it's interesting because it does line up with the way that this other person expresses love, where it's like, okay, well, you do X, Y, and Z for me, or this is how you acted in this situation, or when this was happening, this is what you did. That kind of love. And the thing too about this Ace of Swords that really stuck out to me when it first presented itself is that Ace of Swords often talks about challenges. This relationship and the expression of love specifically might be a challenge for this person. This might be the kind of connection that you know, or this is the kind of person that didn't grow up in a household where like displays of affection were common. This is someone who might struggle with like that kind of intimacy. um but there's a very like almost objective kind of way that this person approaches like expressing uh love. But this is someone who I'm seeing is just leans way more towards the kind of like mental, I'm not even sure how to fully express what this is. um I'm getting this as someone that maybe when it comes to like hypotheticals, they don't really do well with that. So in terms of maybe like planning or talking about the future of a connection, maybe this isn't someone who really either they don't enjoy doing that, or it's difficult for them to do that, or there isn't really much conversation about that. Um, because this is someone who maybe struggles a little bit with the more emotional side of things. The way that they hurt their partner is it's interesting because it's mirrored in this other energy where this other person defends themselves with logic and like being able to kind of map out how they're correct. This is how person B goes about unintentionally, but this is how they hurt person A. This is like almost somehow I'm getting some type of appeal to authority. This is like, I think you are both very intelligent people, and in some way it becomes weaponized. This is like this energy is very, I'm getting someone who maybe has like, if when you guys are arguing, it's like this is when they decide to unload all of the grievances that they have. You know what I mean? This is someone who like, it's almost like they'll have so many things to say, like, damn, have you been keeping a list? Like, why haven't you been expressing all of these things to me before? Or are you just trying to be hurtful? This is someone who knows how to use their words to do like the most damage. And it's someone who really will like cut off. I'm just seeing someone that like would, and maybe they wouldn't actually say this, but the energy is someone that's just like, "Ugh, you're being emotional," and they're using it in a derogatory kind of way, in a way that is meant to diminish the experience or the reality of what's happening. This is someone who, because they think that they can be unemotional, and that's not even accurate, but it's like someone who would say that they are stepping into logic and not being emotional, that therefore they're right. And so it's very difficult to fully like connect with someone like that, because it's almost like when they need it to be, whatever kind of vulnerability that you would show to them can be weaponized and used against you. And so it makes it very difficult to kind of be completely and totally vulnerable with someone like that. You know what I mean? Um, I also want to say this on the other end of that, and I am noting this because it again was present on the in the other person's energy. The King of Swords can also talk about someone being so sure, like someone in this person's life being so sure of their viewpoint that whoever is represented by the King of Swords feels intellectually like, what's the word I'm looking for? Squashed, like I'm seeing someone be stepped on. Or this can also talk about someone that uses like approval and disapproval and the kind of shame that comes from that against someone. Like it's a wielding of, again, authority, and not necessarily like in the traditional way when we think of an authority figure, but just someone whose opinion has like sway over you. It's that kind of energy. Um, which again just makes people feel really small and makes it really difficult to truly connect with them. How person B defends this behavior when they hurt person A is really like a classic, well, we're not together kind of thing. This is like, if you guys are not official, this is like, well, you're not my partner, so like why are you even getting so hurt, or we whatever. On the other end of that spectrum, this could be someone who uses the fact that you guys are official and the relationship is established as like a thing where it's like, well, you should know that I care. Like, we're together, aren't we? You should know that I love you. We're together, aren't we? It's that kind of spectrum I'm seeing. Either it's one extreme or the other. Um Going back to person A, who they are right now and why this is all kind of being brought to the surface is because they are represented by the Wheel of Fortune, which is telling me that they are at a turning point in their life. They are, the universe is ready to support drastic change. Person B, who they are right now, is represented by the King of Cups, which is telling me that they are, for some, and I haven't pulled any like external kind of factors that might be motivating this. But this is that they are being brought to, I should say, being called to be more emotionally mature, to be more um, emotionally aware, to grow in maturity. This is like talking about being emotionally intelligent, and being able to truly have a greater understanding and connection to their emotional body. Where this relationship is going in the present moment, this is talking about one, things are up in the air, but what this is asking both of you is to take an honest look and evaluation at what the other has to offer. Because a lot of the times the relationships that we find ourselves in are a reflection of like the compatibility between our wounds. I see both of you are on a path of growth and healing and maturing. Whether or not you come out on the other side, compatible and better and healthier for one another is yet to be seen. What the Seven of Cups, or what I really want to get at, is that it talks a great deal about wishful thinking. Um, and also it also talks a bit about overwhelm. So this could be a very overwhelming kind of decision, but mostly the energy that I'm getting, it is more about the illusions around love, and that kind of wishful thinking. You know what I mean? And again, just being asked like, what do you have to offer each other? Is it right for you? Is it enough? However it is that you were kind of weighing up and making those decisions. All right, I'm going to get an oracle for you guys. I appreciate you being here. I hope that this helped. If it did resonate and you want to let me know, feel free to drop a like or a comment. I really do love hearing from you guys, and it helps me out. And if you want to be notified next time I post a video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you want to be actually notified, I think you have to hit the bell and it'll let you know. Okay. We got a few out. I'm going to take the top one. And it is number 29. It says Delphinus. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. And it says love. So let's see what it has to say. Number 29. It says, know what you are looking for if seeking a partner. Be clear around your boundaries when it comes to love and all relationships. Slow down. Pay attention to how flow is being played out in your life at present. Be aware that by hanging on to a grudge or an imbalance, the clean flow to what you desire will be interrupted. If you place your happiness in the hands of others, chances are you won't be happy. I think that is great advice. All right, that's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much again for being here. I hope to see you next time. Bye.